So anyway, we'll start with the Chiefs beating the Bills 27-24. Man, I was rooting for a hole-in-one. I had 30-27, and I thought that's what it was going to be. And there's so much to talk about from the game, but the contrast to me, the thing that really stands out, the final 2 minutes of the game 2 years ago was a nonstop roller coaster. Oh my God, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. The final 2 minutes of this game were largely uneventful.
Yeah.
And it felt like, there was a point where you're watching the clock, you're looking at the score, you're watching the clock, you're looking where the Bills are. And it's kind of like playing Madden, where you go through those machinations in your brain. Hey, I could milk this all the way down to 0. I could do this right. And I'm either going to score a touchdown and not leave them 13 seconds, or I'm going to score a walk-off field goal and go to overtime and not have to worry about losing the toss and giving up a touchdown to start overtime and not getting a shot to match it. So it felt like that's exactly what they were going to do.
Sure.
And then they got pass happy, throwing for the end zone. Instead of, it felt inevitable they were either going to force overtime or win it in regulation at the 2-minute warning. And then something changed. And they decided to go for it, and the hell with it. We'll play defense against the Chiefs. We'll do what we have to do if we score on this 2nd and 9 laser to the end zone when he had Diggs open underneath.
Yeah.
And they said he got hit when he threw it. He kind of did. I don't know how much it threw him off, but they're going for 7 there.
Yeah.
They're not going for milk the clock and walk off win.
No,
so
you're exactly
changed.
right.
The mindset changed at the 2-minute warning, where they're just kind of like, screw it. Let's not worry about this. Let's just go score. And that's what they tried to do, and it didn't work. And then they missed the field goal. And no points scored after the 2-minute warning this time.
No, you're right. It was, really the fourth quarter, I think in a lot of ways, if we had to sum it up, you could almost say it was, a little sloppy. Maybe not. It was probably the worst played quarter of the football game. And hey, players make plays there. I do think Allen got bumped just as he's throwing that, right? And I understand him making that throw and that decision. That guy was there. The touchdown was there. It was. It's just that, Chris Jones made a nice power rush, and I think as he's throwing it, it hits him just enough to where it took his power away and fell flat, and he's aggressive. And, yeah, Stephon Diggs was underneath, you're right, to probably get the first down and keep the thing going. And then it becomes field goal and up there, and we know it's windy, it's cold, it's not an easy place to kick field goals. It's not. It's still, I'm amazed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm amazed by them. I don't know any other way to say it, right? I'm astounded by their ability to, one, look a certain way. Stuff like this doesn't happen in professional sports where, oh, hey, we trip, we fall, we didn't really play the best football this year. We were kind of the B+ or B- versions of ourselves all year. We dropped passes. We threw dumb interceptions in big moments. We missed field goals in some bad moments, whatever, right? We've talked about the Chiefs playing with their food. Having games where they're asleep at the wheel against lesser competition. We're dominated on Christmas Day by the Las Vegas Raiders, dominated. And we all go by, well, when the playoffs will come around, the magic of the Chiefs, playoffs, Mahomes will start to show up. And my 43 years of experience in sports is that's rare that you can just go, wait, we weren't that good, but now that it counts, we'll turn it on and we'll be really good and we'll be a force and watch out. And all of a sudden, we'll play the game clean and do all the little things right that we kind of did wrong all year. And they get in the playoffs and they do it. I'm amazed by that. You just don't see that in professional sports. And then I think on top of that, Mike, they embrace all of it. They're the greatest traveling show in the sport right now, whether it's Jason Kelce with his shirt off on the stands with the fans and Taylor Swift and her entourage. It's unlike anything we've seen. 6 AFC championships in a row, the way they do it, the flair in which they have, in which they play. The Kansas City Chiefs, we're watching something really special. We'll see where this goes, but it's already special that they got to 6 AFC championship games in a row, and last night was a special performance once again by them.
It's easy to take it for granted. It's easy to get lulled into, oh, well, that's
Here
just
they
how
go
it is.
again, right.
And
right.
This year, it was easy to think, well, maybe it's starting to end. Maybe the window's closing. Maybe they're not going to be great forever.
They can't do this every year, right? Yeah.
All of a sudden, they just hit you. They just hit you right over the head with it. And that's a key ingredient that I think makes this different for them. The one benefit of having extensive playoff experience is you operate more comfortably in that environment where you know it's when you go home. That's the Tom Brady mindset. Tom Brady lives for those moments, and I think Patrick Mahomes is getting to the point where he does too. But if there's enough that's different, I think you throw a little twist in there and it's stimulating.
Right. I hear you. Right.
It's not the same old stuff.
Right. We're going on the road now. Nobody's put us in this corner.
We're underdogs.
Yeah.
We're
right.
Underdogs.
I
We're
hear
underdogs
you.
Again next week against the Ravens. It's a different mindset than they've ever dealt with. So you have enough of the old and you sprinkle in enough of the new.
Yeah. It gives them a new energy.
Activates everything.
Right.
And you, hey, look, this sums it up. The guy who couldn't catch anything all season long is all of a sudden looking like a combination of Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I mean, the Marquez Valdez Scantling catch over the shoulder where he made it look routine. I mean, this guy drops everything. He makes that catch, and I'm like, there's no way they're losing tonight. They were trailing at the time, early in the third quarter, first play from scrimmage. He makes that catch, and that's when I said, the guys driving me home, I think I said it, I don't know, maybe I thought it, they ain't losing tonight. Not after that.
I hear you.
He had a couple of nice catches.
This one right here. I mean, come on, that's insane.
They're not dropping the ball anymore.
No, I know.
All the stuff that plagued them during the season, and I talked to Mahomes after the game before Christmas.
Right.
What do you guys do to get these guys to stop dropping the ball? What tell me specific, because I don't want to hear cliches. I mean, I let him say the cliches. And I said, but give me something concrete. And you go out and you catch more passes and you're more, and it's just something that eventually the switch flips. This is my take on it, but at some point you just keep at it, and the confidence comes back. It's all mental. And it may be a byproduct of this whole thing of it's different.
I hear you. Little different focus
now.
Yeah.
We're not the hunted. We're the team that's supposed to lose, not the team that's supposed to win. When you're the team that's supposed to win, what happens? You get a little tight. Maybe you do think a little too much as the ball's coming in. Maybe it does squirt through your hands when you're the team that's supposed to win. When you're the team that's supposed to lose, you're like, hey, man, screw you. You say we're supposed to lose, we're going to go win, and you don't think about it. It's all about concentration. What is it that causes you to concentrate or not in that moment? And it's as much of a difference as we're supposed to win, so we better win. So, or we're supposed to lose. So, all right, let's go. Okay, we'll show you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just as easy as that.
Yes.
To have the mindset to hold the ball versus dropping the ball.
No, I think, what you're talking about. And then, listen, it's a team that, to what you're saying, a little bit might have been lulled to sleep a little bit. Like, oh, God, here we go again. Regular season, yeah. We're going to be the number one seed. Whoop-de-doo. I think they lost focus a little bit. I think you're right. I said the same thing on the couch to my wife last night. The Chiefs are re-energized by being this road team. This is new to them. This is cool. Oh, wait. We're going in the stadium and being booed? And, they're telling us we stink? And, yes, they love that. They haven't had that element as much through a playoff run like we've seen some of the other great dynasties or whatever else. And I know they're not a dynasty yet, but damn, they're close to one. And you're right, they just don't feel pressure. It's something I think we both kind of waxed poetically about with them over the last 5 to 6 years, and why I continue to pick them, repeat them to go to the Super Bowl. Because I think they embrace all this. Oh, what? No expectations, or you're cheating us out of expectations, or whatever. You're doubting us. They love it. They love the spotlight. They're like the greatest traveling show on earth right now, and they're led by, the Taylor Swift of quarterbacks. Whoever you want to call him. He's just incredible. What he did yesterday, the way he leads, the way he's on the field, giving everybody a high five. Defense makes a stop. Offense makes us, gets a field goal, whatever, right? His determination. I think to your point, once you've won a Super Bowl and you came back by 10 late in the fourth quarter, there's no more pressure in football anymore. Now it's just like, wait, I've been here, and this is not as pressure-packed as that 49ers Super Bowl I had to deal with, or the Eagles last year. This is nothing. And then I think he's very legacy, understanding of that. And he, like you've always talked about, I think he knows he's chasing Brady. And hey, he won up Brady yesterday and won. It took Brady 12 years to get to his 6th AFC championship game. Mahomes is doing it 6 or 6. It's
6.
insane what we're watching. That's all. And I hope everybody can appreciate that. I know it gets dull for some people. Oh, the Chiefs again. But it's pretty incredible what we're watching in the pantheon of history of the NFL.
First team ever to go 5 straight years with multiple postseason wins. In a year where the Lions got their first postseason win since 1991 and their first multiple postseason wins since 1957, the Chiefs have done it 5 years in a row. And you and I both love watching the demeanor of players during games, specifically the demeanor of the quarterback. And we spent so much time last week talking about the bad body language of the Eagles, the bad demeanor of the Eagles, the sense of resignation that emanated from Jalen Hurts last Monday night throughout the entire game, wire to wire. It felt like there was this notion of, it isn't happening tonight. Let's just go home.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes, when he's not on the field and they cut to him, he's got this look that's a combination of like confidence, interest, patience, anxiety, but not in a bad
like
way.
Concerned anxiety. Like, am I going to have to go down here and score a touchdown here, or do I have to go get a field goal?
Whatever happens here, I'm ready to go.
He kind of has that look.
I'm not too anxious.
I hear you.
It's not like, get me the ball back.
Right.
But it's like, I'm always ready. Let's go. I'm watching. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm watching. Yeah. I'm ready. And it's like SpongeBob. I'm ready. I'm ready. He's always ready. And he's never down. And there's nothing that happens on the field that makes him say anything other than, all right, let's go. All right, let's go. That's why it was so crazy in the last Bills game when he blew a gasket the way he did.
Yeah, right.
Because he's always in control of everything that he presents to his teammates, to the opposition, and to the world. And I think that's what was so important last week to hear Lane Johnson, the Eagles tackle, explain that bad demeanor isn't just something that infects your team. Bad demeanor is how you show yourself to your opponent, and your opponent sees it, and their attitude is, we got these guys. We got them. So you're right. We're witnessing history. We all want to witness history, and we all want to be aware we're witnessing history when we're witnessing it. Folks, we're witnessing history. And I know you've got your other teams that you root for, and the Ravens fans out there don't want to hear that the guy who is giving us history 1 week at a time is coming to town this week, and your team might just be the next chapter. Who knows? I'm not saying anything about the Ravens Chiefs game.
Don't start yet.
About it.
Wait till Thursday at least.
I'm just saying we're witnessing history.
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs. And as I said last week, every good story comes to an end. And maybe the road ends for the Chiefs this week. Maybe this is the first year they lose in the AFC Championship. But your point, my point, we're witnessing history. Let's enjoy it. We all want to do it. Sometimes we don't know it when it's happening. Folks, it's happening. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. It's amazing, too, how they can find different ways to win a football game. I don't think there's any doubt that they were the better team on the field yesterday, right? The Bills weren't far off. We know there was chances there to be had, right? But I think when you look at the, things, the bottom line, listen, we know turnovers are the number one thing that dictate a football game. After that, explosive plays. And I think that's where we're going to get into the conversation again, which we've done this a lot, where hey, Kansas City's just got more elite players than a team like Buffalo, where for 3 years in a row, you and I have raised our hands and gone, Buffalo, you got to get some more game changers on both sides of the ball. And I think, again, we saw that last night. There's just not enough there. And the Kansas City Chiefs got them on both sides of the football. And that's where I'm amazed with, it's not the high-flying show that we saw 3 years ago, 4 years ago. This year, they're now into a mode of like, hey, we're just going to do whatever we got to do to win the game. Mahomes, we don't care if he throws the ball 45 times a game. We're totally fine with 23 attempts. He'll be efficient and smart. And when there's a crack or a seam to throw the ball down the field to Valdez-Scantling, he'll hit it and make an explosive play that way. And then, of course, our run game. So they've almost reinvented themselves with the way they're playing so far during this run as compared to other ones we've seen. And that's where I have, so much respect for them once again. The ability to run the ball Mahomes showing he's capable of not being the main center of the show and, I got to throw the ball every time. But this is what we got to do, and I just got to strike with a big play here and there. That's fine, and that's what he did. And it's just the culture that Andy Reid has built there. And then, of course, this quarterback leading the charge where they are just really tough to beat in these one-and-done type of scenarios like we saw last night.
Stat of the night, plays of 20 yards or longer. Chiefs had 8, Bills had none.
That's incredible. That's incredible. It speaks to the game itself. I'm not saying anything you don't know. But, yeah, when Buffalo had a drive to score a touchdown, life was hard. It was Josh Allen. Let me throw a 3-yard laser here. Let me put my shoulders down and dig in here for 5. Let me throw a laser here. Let me dig in for 5. Here's Cook for 4, right? So, again, there's not enough to be worried about on that Bills offense at times, so where they can open up the field. That was an incredible play. That's one of the most incredible plays I ever seen. Run for 10 yards, lateral it, and almost get a first down on 3rd and 17. That's insane. This game for at one point, right, second quarter into the third, you were going, is this going to be the greatest game I've ever seen in my life? Are these quarterbacks on fire? Are they ever going to miss a play, a throw, a read? I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, this is setting up to be amazing. And then we know the game got a little sloppy or whatever, and some mistakes are made, and we'll get into that. But the quarterback play was at an extremely high level, except one guy, as we always go back to, just has to, it's look at all the highlights and plays we show of the game. I mean, just look at that. This is we didn't pick these out. These are people at NBC that work here. Everything Bills related is Josh Allen running around, doing this, doing that, right? And then I think that speaks to it. It's like a chicken with their head cut off sometimes. And then there's Mahomes, who we know can do all that, but he's got enough around him, too, at times to be like, okay, I can just stand here and, boom, I'll drop it in there. My guy can beat him deep downfield. Okay, boom, I'll do that. And that's just a different game. And the Chiefs, Brett Veach, all that, they got studs across the board and playmakers, and it's something the Bills are going to have to address this offseason.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.